Hello there, I'm Jeanette Lane for Creative Stamping, and in today's video I'm showing you how to stamp and color on Kraft colored cardstock. So I made this Christmas card using the 12 Days of Christmas stamp set that's included in issue 63 of Creative Stamping. Oh my goodness, this stamp set is so delightful, so I had a blast making this card with my little mouse, my little piping mouse. He is so cute. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to color on Kraft colored cardstock. Let's jump into the tutorial. So to start off this card, I have a piece of Kraft colored cardstock and I've put that inside of my stamping platform, and you'll see why in just a bit. So I'm making sure that this is lined up to the edge, and I'm gonna grab my little mouse here. He's so cute. He's part of the 11 Pipers piping because he's got a little flute. He's so cute. All right, so I'm going to place him roughly in the center of my Kraft colored cardstock piece. And then we're going to stamp him with some embossing ink. And I'm not going to use any powder just yet. So first I'm going to ink him up. And hopefully you can see that on camera. It leaves a sort of watermark, and I'm going to set this with my heat tool. So I'm not adding any embossing powder yet. I will do that after I'm done coloring. Okay, so here is the stamped image of my mouse, and again, I stamped that with Wow embossing ink. You can use any type of ink, and as you can see, it leaves just a faint watermark of my image, and this is going to help me know where to color. And for coloring, I'm going to be using the Color Blend by Spectrum Noir. This is the Essentials set, and I'm going to grab my white colored pencil, and I'm just going to color all over my mouse. Coloring my mouse in white pencil gives me a sort of, think of it as a base coat for all of my other colors. This way my colors will be saturated when I color directly on the Kraft cardstock. Now I'm using various shades of grays and also pinks and peaches for his ears, and I feel like that gives my mouse a little bit more depth. And if you can't really see the clear outlines of his features, no worries, we're going to bring that back by doing a little bit of heat embossing in white in just a bit. My mouse is all done. As you can see, his features are a little bit hidden, but we're going to recover those with that heat embossing in white. So I'm going to put my cardstock back into my stamping platform, and we're going to ink that up. And this time around, we're going to do the heat embossing with some white embossing powder. And for my embossing powder, I'm using Cosmic Shimmer in True White. So here is my completed image. There are the clear white lines of my white heat embossing. And if you're wondering why I did the heat embossing after I colored, that's because if you do it first and you end up coloring your image, you have to be really careful to not go over any of your lines, because once you color over your white heat embossing, there's really no way to remove it. And so it's easier if you color first and then do the heat embossing on top, just because, you know, you will end up coloring over your lines. At least I do, because I'm clumsy. So I recommend to color first and then do the embossing second. The heat embossing second. I want to do a little bit more heat embossing around my little piping mouse, so I'm going to take this stamp here and I'm going to do white heat embossing just all around him. So I'm going to mount that onto my stamp block. There it is. And then I'm going to use my Wow embossing pad. I'm really loving this embossing pad. It's so juicy, and it gives you, you know, sometimes some embossing ink dries really quickly, and you're kind of like in a rush to get the powder on it, but the Wow embossing ink is slow drying, so you have plenty of time to grab your embossing powder. Not be stressed out about it. Really loving it. My white heat embossing is done, and I wanted to add some more color to my Kraft colored cardstock. And another way to do that, to add some color to your Kraft cardstock, is to use Distress Oxide inks. Now, because these are a mixture, a hybrid of pigment and dye inks, the color is very pigmented and saturated, so it comes up it comes up on darker colored cardstock like Kraft cardstock and even black cardstock. So a really fun option is to use these oxide inks to add some color to your darker card that you have in your stash. So I'm going to take my little smoothie blender and just put some color on here, and you're going to love how vibrant and pigmented this color is. And this is Lucky Clover. Now, if you accidentally colored over your white embossing like I did, no worries, you can just take a wet cloth or a wipe and just pick up that color, just rub it gently off. And now I'm just gonna trim this down and mount it to a card base, add a sentiment, and we're almost done. I've taken this Merry Christmas sentiment in the 12 Days of Christmas stamp set and just stamped it on a piece of white cardstock and trimmed that down, and I'm just gonna mount that with some liquid adhesive to my card right on the corner. And I'm done with my card. I hope that you're encouraged to try out this technique, coloring on Kraft colored cardstock. I feel like Kraft is one of those things that kind of gets pushed to the wayside, but you can really do some fun effects, achieve some fun stamping effects on Kraft colored cardstock with some colored pencils. So hopefully you can give that a try. I'm Jeanette Lane for Creative Stamping. Thank you so very much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you real soon.